Hi there, sorry I couldn't be in person. I was having some issues with the internet. I'm Becky Lane, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Furbnow. Cara asked me to do a little presentation about how we're acquiring and engaging our customers for self-funded programs for retrofit. So these are people who are not eligible for any grant programs, so I thought I'd just do a little talk about that. First of all, what is the problem we're solving? Everyone on the call is probably very familiar with this, but the problem for homeowners that we're looking to solve for them is helping them to know where to start with retrofit. We found that many people are very motivated to look at retrofitting their home and improving the energy efficiency, primarily just to get a better living environment. And a recent Nesta report also suggested that 55% of homeowners are looking to invest in energy efficiency in the next 5 years as well. But exactly this problem, they don't know where to start, they can't find the suitable finance products to make sure they can afford it, and then making sure they have quality tradespeople to make sure it's done right the first time. We're hoping to support them throughout that process. And this is just kind of depicting that kind of optimum process that most people don't take. You can plan, look at financing options, but in practice, a lot of the supply chain and the value chain really isn't in place to help people who don't have any grant funding to navigate getting a good retrofit output. In fact, most people skip straight to installation and oftentimes having issues with poor quality installations and advice, which means they're taking the bad an order through installation which didn't necessarily make sense for their home. So what do we do to help with that? Just a very quick overview of Furbnow service. Very similar to the PAS 2035 process, but it's suitable for the able to pay market. We provide what's called a home energy plan. Those of you looking after retrofit programs might know this as a medium-term plan or improvement options valuation in PAS 2035 language. We have a particular product, which means it's standardized and very customer friendly for people to engage with that. And it means that they have an understanding of the building condition, any renovation work that they can plan over time. What we're live with at the moment is the design and deliver element of our service. So once the plan is completed, they can pick a phase to start with. We will do the retrofit design and installation. We have a few different services around that as well. We're working with several finance providers, and I'll talk about that as one of our acquisition routes as well, to help with spreading the costs, both unsecured and secured lending. And the ongoing support, we currently have a MVP product, which is using home energy monitoring and working with some insurance providers there to help bring together the whole proposition. But I suppose what I'm trying to encourage with this very brief presentation is the thought around how to manage the sales cycle and the sales funnel, which is something when I was previously running retrofit programs, people didn't think through so much. So just kind of bringing a bit more of a commercial perspective into this as well. I won't go too much because I've only got 2 minutes left. Customers, we've got customers throughout the country. We're currently operational in the West and East Midlands, London and Yorkshire and the Humber. We are looking to expand into another region in October next year, but currently just doubling down in those regions at the moment. We had some great feedback so far and just kind of looking to really solve those issues for customers. Going on to the acquisition strategy, there's 2 primary routes for our business where we acquire our customers. Firstly is direct. So there's a few different options there, which I'll talk about in a second. But normally this is going through organic, which is called SEO. So we're very content led, trying to find impartial advice to our customers. Paid search, this is basically using Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those kind of platforms to find customers who are interested in your work. And then finally, PR. So a big thing for us is we had an independent review from The Guardian in February, which is still live for you to read as well if you want. And importantly, I think to think about that if you're looking at planning able to pay services is the social proof that comes from having that PR and an independent review, and it's very important to get that because it gives customers the confidence to get started with you. And on that point with social proof, the other route to market for us as well is through partnerships. So we're currently live as a delivery partner for super homes. We have a scheme with Acton Energy and Warwick District Council live in the West Midlands, and also work with City of Wolverhampton Council as well. So energy agencies and local authorities we've put forward to get up and running in the first few months of first year of spanning Furbnow. And we are working with energy suppliers and multi-providers on pilots, but these just take a little bit longer to get through. But the key thing to think about with partnerships is the social proof that it provides. Whether you're going through community energy groups, it's important to get that advocacy through the teams. The second thing I wanted to talk about a little bit with self-funded retrofit schemes was around this idea of the sales funnel, which you might be thinking about already in terms of conversion through stages of a retrofit program. So getting customers into the top of the funnel, as it's called in kind of growth marketing, which is starting their journey with filling in application forms for any grant programs, then getting the assessment, then getting the technical survey, and you can see how it works, that sales funnel of getting people through. And I think the slight difference with self-funded retrofit programs is to think more commercially around that sales funnel. So at the top end of the sales funnel, you've got kind of impressions. So if you've got a site and you're trying to go through a more digital-led approach, whether that's people coming, that's the kind of first self-service point for people to come to, then them signing up to you, declaring interest in actually going forward with whatever your service is at the top end. For us, that is declaring interest in a home energy plan. Second is that conversion through to a project, and then finally support. So as you can probably see, that it's important to understand not only the conversion rates but the timing as people move through those stages, to make sure you can plan the business and grow it over time. And just to kind of bring together the importance of kind of marketing and B2B partnerships, you're trying to find customers at different stages of that funnel. So you might be finding high intent customers who are really ready to go ahead with the project but need to kind of come in at the plan stage. You might be finding customers who are just starting to be interested in this journey, and you need to nurture them over time as well. So it's kind of considering at what point each of those customers are when you're setting up a self-funded retrofit scheme to support them and make sure that they get the best element out of the service. On the B2B partnerships as well, what we found as well with working with these partners through pilots and also kind of setting things up is you tend to find customers at different stages of the sales funnel. So with local authorities and energy agencies, you're really finding customers that are at that kind of initial stages of thinking. Some are high intent in terms of they want to get a plan, but they're still considering the options for a project. Whereas what we found, particularly through energy suppliers and mortgage providers, is because it's already kind of paired up with energy, the product's already been suggested, particularly with energy suppliers, or finance products have been suggested with mortgage providers, they're already far more higher intent for a project than the customers from other routes. So I'd say if you're thinking about an able to pay retrofit scheme, think about the kind of partners and understanding what you're trying to learn and what point you're trying to bring them into that sales funnel as well. And just some kind of key elements to consider as you're planning. So this is kind of with digital marketing, but also as you're planning and understanding the growth of your scheme as you're building it together as well. So if you're going down the digital marketing route, the first two terms are very important. So click-through rate and cost per click, because this means that you understand which are your most effective and cost-effective channels for acquiring customers, and it helps you prioritize any marketing budget you have to getting people into that. The customer acquisition cost is relevant for both digital marketing or partnerships, because it's likely if you have a B2B2C partnership, there could be a lead generation payment or something similar. And again, it's important to monitor that so you understand which is your most effective route to market channel, both cost, but also in terms of the lifetime value of the customer that comes through. And another point as well, which I think is slightly more challenging in the self-funded market than some of the grants, is understanding the customer sales cycle. Sorry, it's just cut off slightly in terms of the wording there. And basically, what was the time to convert? So if somebody lands on your site or starts with your service, your impression, how long does it take them to sign up? How long does it take them to convert to a plan? And then how long does it take them to convert to a project? And the reason why that's so important with your planning and kind of a key thing to learn, a KPI to gather over time, is so you can understand the growth levers of your business. So if you put so much money into marketing, you understand the downstream revenue potential from plan and project later on as well. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'm happy to share more information or follow up over email as well. My email is just at the bottom of the screen there. Feel free to reach out, and hope it's a really good workshop.